Hi everybody, Logan Phillips here, your state representative of District 24. Now last week we talked about redistricting. I sent out a big message to all the social media groups, sent out a big push, posted to all my pages, and tried to make sure we knew as we were traveling around the district this last month or so that you all know what the district's going to be looking like, and the fact is that I will be no longer representing Okmulgee, Okfuskee, or Hughes County, and I'll be moving into the northern section of Okmulgee County to Bixby, Glenpool, and Mounds area. Now, the maps have been released as of last Monday, and so I want to share with you how to access those maps, how to look at those maps, how to utilize those maps, and to see exactly what is going on, why it's going on, and just make sure that you are an informed citizen. And more importantly, we have a period here where citizens, such as yourself, are able to put public input. So if you'd like to do so, I'm going to give you a chance, an opportunity. I'm going to share with you the way to do that and make sure that your voice is being heard and make sure that you know exactly what's going on and where everything is playing out as. To start off with, I want to talk about what District 24 has historically been. Now, District 24 has gone from Okmulgee County, so just south of Mounds, Oklahoma, covering everything from Beggs down to Holdenville and from Payton to Preston. So about 2,000 square miles, or about 35,000 people or so. The new district is going to be pretty substantially different. I'm going to pull it in here right now. Now, there's two ways you can get to these maps. You can get a PDF form of them so you can print it off and have it. And I'm also going to show you an interactive map method. Now, these I will shorten the links so that you can get directly to them, and I will also post links to all of this in the description for the video for you. So the District 24 now, you can see here that we are still going to be in Okmulgee County, and if you come down, the Highway 16 is going to be our southern border now, and we're going to jump up going on to like Winchester being the eastern border, and over towards the left-hand side, Mounds, Bixby, Glenpool, all that's going to be covered into us. Now we do have a jot up here into the northeastern corner, and that is into the Bixby area. We do cross the river now, going north into almost, I think it's 131st or 100 something in Memorial. So we are switching from a very rural seat to a very not rural seat, to a suburban urban areas. So let's jump from this map, and this is a great print off for you. This does show just District 24 and where we're setting it now. So if you'd like to print it off, share out with people, see where you're located on it, you can do that. Now there is an interactive map, so let's jump over to that. And I'm gonna give you 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up here. This looks like the senators. Here we go. All right, so we do have an interactive map that will show you the entirety of the state. Now, the reason the districting has changed, why this is a process, is because every 10 years, the U.S. Census has to go through and collect the numbers of who is living where and all that kind of information. It's constitutionally required. We've been doing it since our country has been founded. It has changed a little bit over time, but overall, we have done the census every 10 years since the creation of the United States. Quick little random history for you. Originally, if you've ever used an IBM computer, the IBM computer system came out because Herman Hollerith was the founder of IBM, was working for the U.S. Census, and used to have to do it by hand. So he created punch cards and actually created a system to read those punch cards, which became one of the first computers, and created IBM to work with the U.S. Census. So Herman Hollerith, great history there, just a random piece. But so here with the district map, we have to have 100 and so representatives in the state of Oklahoma based on the Oklahoma Constitution and our population. And that districts have to be broken down into equal number of people, not equal number of land masses, but equal number of people. And in this last census, we have seen a massive flux from the rural communities into the suburban and urban areas, which for the first time in the state's history means that we are very likely looking at the state being represented by more suburban and urban legislators than rural legislators, which is a very big political shift. It's a massive shift. It means those in our rural communities are going to have to be even more engaged and even more vocal than they've already been, because you're going to lose a lot of your influence and power in the politics in the process. So here we have 101 representatives, and this is the state of Oklahoma's House of Representatives. This is not federal, this is not the senators, this is just the representatives. Broken up into equal populations, and if I can pull up, I will show you a little bit of basic information. All right, here's District 24. Here we go. So if we're looking at District 24, this new district is population of 39,202 people. And so that is the requirement for basically every single state representative's district going forward, about that 39,000 number of people. So to do that, we had to drop off our rural communities and move north to get us a suburban. Our breakdown of the new district out of the 39,202, we have about 19.18% is American Indian, Alaskan, 4.3 is of Asian descent, 4.01 is of Black or African American, 0.2 is Native Hawaiian, 66.21 of the new district is non-Hispanic white, 5.7 of the district is some other race or ethnicity, and 7.5 of the district is Hispanic or Latino. So we are still a fairly diverse district. The old District 24 was actually substantially more diverse with the inclusions of towns like Clearview and Boley and those historic African American towns and the massive Native American populations that we had throughout the original District 24. So I am a little saddened to see that that difference of thought going away a little bit, but we are staying still with a very inclusive, very broad spectrum of Oklahomans here in the new district. And there's a little bit more cohesion. The towns of Bixby and Glenpool and Mounds pretty much have similar needs and goals. There are some major differences, but we have a little bit of cohesion in that. Unfortunately, it's not that rural push that we've been dealing with going in the traditional district. So the new District 24 will cover counties of Creek County, Okmulgee County, and Tulsa County. The cities of Beggs, Bixby, Glenpool, Jinx, Liberty, Mounds, Sapulpa, and Winchester. And we have the school districts of Beggs, Bixby, Glenpool, Kellyville, Liberty, Mounds, Preston, and Twin Hills. So we've kept a few of our school districts, but we've gained quite a bit more. And I will say that city of Beggs, the city proper is not in my district. If you look down at the map, there's a little bump here at the bottom on Highway 16. The city of Beggs sits right here on 75 and 16, which means it's going to be in Scott Fettgetter's district going forward. The Senate districts that are represented here now are districts 8, 12, and 25, and the congressional districts are numbers 1 and 2. So you're going to have a variety of representation for this given area, and I'll break down where those pieces fall here in just a minute. So let's look at District 24 as an interactive map. What we actually see a little bit closer viewpoint. Now with this interactive map, there's all kinds of layers you can add on, information pieces you can add on. It is an incredibly strong value to you. If you're looking for your precinct boundaries, if you're looking for place boundaries, House districts, Senate districts, all this kind of fun stuff, it is all here. Now, if we come over here to the State Representative District 24, we can actually zoom in. And so let's start down in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, again, traditionally, I have gone from here in District 24. The original lines covered Okmulgee County, down to Okfuskee County, and down to Hughes County. And so we went all the way down here to Holdenville, and we came all the way over here to Boley, Okfuskee County, Winchester. On the right-hand side, we went to Preston, Payton. So we're losing quite a bit of area. So for the Okfuskee and Hughes County, these two counties will now be represented by David Smith, the state representative from down in the McAllister area. If you come up into my Okmulgee area that I have traditionally represented, that is Representative Scott Fettgetter now, and you are part of District 16. So both of those guys are fantastic representatives. You'll be doing very well with them. Scott alone has been a mentor of me the entire time I've been in office. So if you like how I've represented you, you will most likely like how Scott. David came in with me at the same time as a classmate of mine. He's a fantastic guy. If you have any problems with any of them, just let me know and we will make sure you're still taken care of. Because once you've been my constituent, you are always going to be my constituent. So let's go into District 24 and actually break it down a little bit further. So the southern border of my district is now Highway 16 with one little bump. You can see here down Dentonville. Dentonville is not going to be in my area, and the actual city proper of Beggs, Oklahoma is not. So if you're living north of 15 or east of 3910 Road, then you're still in my district. But if you are on Highway 16 or south of 15, in the area of Beggs, you are not going to be represented by me anymore. I did fight to keep Beggs and try to keep that town. You guys have been fantastic. I love working with you, but I'm not in control of redistricting. So the population numbers did not work. Now, from Beggs, you can see the Highway 16. If we come over to my eastern border, we have a jut up here on 3970 road, and then we cut right on East 0860 road, and then we jump back up on 3990 road. So we do have a leg here that we're going to come in almost to Hectorville, but not quite. And we're going to come up here and go into like Winchester area and those types of pieces. Now this is where we cut out of Okmulgee County, and on the county line of 211th, we're going to jump into two different counties here. So on the eastern side, we are going into Creek and picking up Creek County representatives, and on our western side, we're doing Creek. On the eastern side, we are doing Tulsa County. So we are picking up two counties and dropping off two counties from the district, but we are moving from about 2,000 square miles to just under 300 square miles. So that means you'll be seeing a lot of me in this area. Normally it has taken me 2 hours to get down to places like Holdenville, to spend an hour and then jumping around, and I spent a lot of time in windshield time. All that windshield time will now be conveyed into actual person-to-person time. So I am looking a little bit forward to that and getting to know the new district. And so on our eastern side, well, let's just jump to the western side actually, here into the Mounds area. So we do, if you live in or around Mounds, I am your state representative if this map is approved in special session next week. And so 75 all the way up, between 75, 75 alternate, going all the way east into 145th, what is this street right here? This is a new border for me, so I have not seen it yet. This is 117th. So if you're anywhere in the Mounds area, between the roads of 75 alternate all the way to 175th, I'm going to be your representative. And we are going all the way north up to 171st Street South. So here's the 171st Street South. We're not getting into Kiefer, so about halfway between Mounds and Kiefer is where my border is going to remain. So for the north of 171st, this is still Mark Lawson's area. You have traditionally been served by him already, and so you will remain being served by him going forward. Now we do have a little bit of confusion and mix-up here when we get to the Glenpool areas. So this is not the cleanest, but it's based on populations. So we have neighborhoods to the left side or to the right side, and different districts had to pick up. So we got Twin Mounds Pioneer Cemetery is where the border is going to jump off, which is 33rd West Avenue. And so as we're going up 33rd West Avenue, you can see we're going to jump all the way up through Glenpool area, and this is Highway 67. We're going to jump back over across, and then we're actually splitting the western neighborhood of Rolling Meadows Park off of Glenpool, and then the town of Glenpool to the east, or that new industrial zone, the St. Francis Health Center, that will all be in my area. So from Highway 75, if you're east of 75 in Glenpool, you will more than likely be represented by me. If you are to the west of 75 in Glenpool, you'll be represented by Mark Lawson still, with a few little caveats there. And this goes all the way up to 141st Street. So the actual downtown area of Glenpool, it's split basically in half, half going to District 68, the rest of it going to me. And so you can see here in the Glenpool area, if you're between 141st going south and with the corner of 75, you're with me. If you're on Elwood and 131st, this is still my area. So if you're on 131st and Elwood and you go south and east, you will be represented by me. And we jump through that 131st all the way through to the river, and we come across the river into the Bixby territory. And from Bixby, we are taking across the river the entire town, our entire town proper of Bixby, so all of that 64 highway, 67 highway area. And then we're jumping north of Bixby across the river into the neighborhoods, all the way up to 111th and Memorial, and jumping down with our eastern border being South Mingo Road. So there's a couple jots here that I'm not super thrilled with. It's just a little confusing for you guys to look at, is why I'm not super thrilled with. I think will be fantastic. I know the people here. My family has been from the Bixby area since the early I don't know, 1910s or something of that nature. So I've spent most of my life coming around Bixby, Mounds, Glenpool. It will be fine. I promise I'll be getting out into the districts and making sure you guys all know me. But the biggest thing is I want you to know exactly where you are and if I'm going to be your representative or not. Now, this has not been voted on. This will be voted on next week, probably next week Friday, with a special session. And once that's voted on, then this technically goes into effect at the next election period. And so I will be working the district, getting to know the district, and showing you everything, learning about you, and letting you guys learn about me. But right now, the new District 24 will cover a little bit of Okmulgee County. That is my rural areas. And then we'll jump north into my suburban areas of Mounds, Bixby, and Glenpool. And we'll have a little bit of split between a few reps going in here, because anything north of that you get into Tulsa. And as you can see, Tulsa has such a dense population. Their districts are just all over the place. And I have no desire to break those down. Now, for all this, my constituents out there, if you have comments or questions, or you're upset about how this district's being redrawn, you do have a right to make those statements be heard. You can, and again, I'll be sharing these links with you. You can come to the House Redistricting website, and you can actually submit public feedback. Now, how this process has worked, for the last year, we have had public feedback, we've had town hall meetings, we've had public maps come in, we've had a council or a commission that's been working on it separately. It has been incredibly transparent. But if you find something at this point that you're just not happy with, you can absolutely voice those concerns. Go to the House Redistricting website, and you can just Google Oklahoma House Redistricting or follow the links in the description. Submit public feedback, give your information, and tell them what you're worried about, or the information or knowledge you want to share. And so this is how you accomplish that. Then you just hit send, and it would go straight to the House Redistricting office. It'd go to the coordinators, to the chairman of that committee, and so they would have it there for you. You can see here all the redistricting rules. And so this is not just a free-for-all where we're allowed to do basically whatever we want. We have been extremely transparent, making sure that we follow all the constitutional rules, the rules of the Oklahoma Constitution, and as well as the rules of the census and the federal mandates that have been surrounding this piece. So there are tremendous amounts of oversight and views and eyes in here to make sure that we don't do stupid things like gerrymandering or breaking those down. From what I've seen, even from my counterparts on the Democratic Party, for the House and Senate maps, we are pretty much in agreement that they were done transparent, well, and informative. But again, you always have the ability to voice your opinion, and if enough of my constituents say they don't like it and they want to maintain my rep, I'll vote against it, whatever you guys need me to do. But right now, I think the map is fairly fair, and I lost out quite a bit, losing the district I've been with for 3 years, going into 4th year, but it's appropriate. Now, the reason this happened and why I've lost so much district, in Oklahoma, this whole down southeastern side was a massive population loss. And so all of these districts, because there's borders, they can't grow into Arkansas and they can't grow into Texas. They only could grow to the north and to the west. And so once you grow all of those, there was one major district that was blocking basically everything, and that was District 24. And so something had to give to be able to get the appropriate amount of populations to all these individual districts, and that was District 24. So guys, I have represented you for the last 3 years, going on 4. I have loved every second of it. I've enjoyed helping you guys with every type of problem and working on issues of District 24. I hope that I have represented you well, and I promise that if it doesn't matter if you're getting David Smith or if you're getting Scott Fettgetter, they will represent you incredibly well as well. They will represent you incredibly well. I give them my full stamp of approval. They are fantastic people. You might even like them a little bit better than me. If you have questions, you are always free to contact me. You can call me 918-849-1512. You can send me an email at logan.phillips@okhouse.gov. You can come to my office at the Capitol. I think I'm in room 455. I am there and available for you for these types of situations. Just let me know how I can help. Past that, District 24, the new one, If you're in the Mounds, Bixby, or Glenpool areas, you're going to be seeing a lot of me. The fact is that I live in Mounds, so I was always the northern side of the district. I am now more than likely the southern side of my district, but everything in the new district is about a 15-minute drive from me, and you guys' population is much more condensed, no longer driving 1 or 2 miles between each individual house, so you're going to be unfortunately perpetually pestered by me nonstop. So if you didn't want an engaged representative, you lucked out. You're unlucky, I guess. So I will be there. I'll be in Mounds. I've already been trying to get involved. I will be in Bixby. I will get involved there, and I will be in Glenpool. I'm there all the time anymore. So if you see a big guy in a gray shirt and a big gray jacked up Jeep, it's just me. I'm here for you, and I want to hear from you. I am Logan Phillips. I'm your state representative, District 24, which now is Bogie County, Mounds, Bixby, and Glenpool. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will post each of the links to these different pieces into the description. These also have things such as the congressional districts of Oklahoma, congressional districts of Oklahoma. So if you're looking at who your state senator is, as well as like this congressional districts, the federal. So if you were wondering if you're in CD2 or 5 or what those look like, those will be available to you here as well. And of course, this is the public comments and rules that you are free to look through and see what you think. So guys, I will share each of these individual links. I'll give you a description in the write-up, and I will share this out to you as well. If you need anything, let me know. Bye guys.